Hi, I'm going to show you remote controller. Um, Remote controller is a command list, but it's also the command list selected to be triggered when you press equals, which is why that command list is an action. It's an action because it's been a selected command list to be run. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to change it. I could run it right now, but it wouldn't work. So I clicked change controls. I'll click edit that remote controller. Double clicking on a command makes you look at its parameters, the command's parameters. This command parameter has nothing. I could put a description here and it would show up over here right after the command name, but I don't know what to put there. I could put something stupid, but I don't want something stupid, so I'm going to go with nothing. Okay, colors. Command lists, command list commands have colors that can be set by the user. I have this dialog here, edit command type colors, and that will let you change the background colors or the foreground colors of the commands, yeah. The way I have it set up for myself is anything that changes the flow of a command list, like they run from top to bottom. Well, running a new command list like this action does changes the flow because it's going to point now at this command list. So when it encounters this, it jumps over here and it runs this. So that's why I have the background color changed. The background color is red in this case, red for run. It's just what I chose. But anyway, the background color is changed because it changes the flow of the command list. Conditions, like this compare number here, also change the flows. Break changes the flow because it will negate a go-to. Okay, so that's that. Here's a. I'm not quite sure where to go. I'm gonna go back to showing these. Double clicking this shows its description, and I have the description set to the relative path that it's gonna run. The relative the file name. It's gonna find this file name in the command lists of the profile that we're running. The profile has some name. Alright, so but anyway, jumping to that will show you that it's probably going to save the socket that it found all this info on. Microsoft Anna, listening. Okay, so all it does is say, hey, I'm listening. So we know that if it says that it's made it to this part in the command list. I mean, that can be useful for debugging. Anyway, it's not very useful anymore, but it's still there. Pause also has its background color changed because it will mean this command list will not progress to the next command until, you know, until its pause duration has traversed or expired. Go-to commands are neat. Let's look at this. Nothing going on here, just goes to 3. This greater than equal is irrelevant because there's no iterator assigned and no value and no step. And the iterators would be like if you wanted to set up a for loop. A for loop has an iterator. It's whatever total, you know, for I equals 0 to 100, has variables, right? I mean, I is a variable, 0 is a variable, and 100 is a variable. Those are all reflected in here. But this one doesn't use that. It just goes to 3. But this break condition will allow it to break the goto if this condition is ever met. Basically, it's listening for an incoming connection. When it finds one, maybe I should go in here, yeah. So this socket, this variable is going to be a socket, and when less than or equal to 0 is false, okay? So when it's not less than or equal to 0, and the reason is because I set it up this way, and then I had on false. Pretty sure it was checked when I came in here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's that. So when it's not 0, it's gonna break. Okay. And then it's gonna report what it found. It's gonna say socket space, and then after socket space, it's gonna say global socket accepted. But it's not actually going to say global socket accepted. It's going to say the value stored inside that variable. And we could tag more stuff on here, and I'll probably tag more on in the future. Okay, so that's that one. This receives. Okay, so we've accepted, and now we're just going to keep saying receive until we find something. I'm pretty sure that's what this does. This says TCP receive. X is going to equal the TCP receive of this socket. So we assigned the socket previously. X is now going to equal whatever comes in at that. Here's the max bytes, maybe? It's either bits or bytes. I don't know. I don't care. We pause. This is so that over here, see, when we're in the different menu, when we're in the configure, no, when we're using hotkeys, it shows us an action history. And instead of cycling like a ton per second, like probably 3 or 4 per second, instead of cycling all those, I just wait and spread it out better with this 4 seconds. That's really the only purpose of that. And then I say when the TCP received goes into X, when X is not null, then we break. I'll come in here. Now we say process command. This splits the command. Okay, so through the TCP command, I get a actual command. The command is going to be join room. It's the only one I check for. It's the only one I send. Blah. The next part is data. I separate the command and the data by a delimiter of slash. Okay, so I make array equal the string split of TCP received and the delimiter. I then say command equals array 1 of the split, which is just, your typical thing. I wrote the function a little bit neat so that I could put 1 over here, and you know what, never mind. Who cares? But this just reads dimension 1. Okay, so I've extracted the command into TCP command. I set a global flag to 0. That's because we don't know if we've entered or joined a room yet, and I can't evaluate that, so I just set it to 0 to start, right? That makes sense. I know nothing at this point. I then say with the computer voice the command that was read. This is the variable, that's where it would say the command, and it says processing space command read, which is TCP command. So anyway, if the command equals join room, then it will go in here. And we do a lot of neat stuff here. Here we have an iterator on a goto being used. I don't know how long I should spend looking at this. Explaining it's tough. I mean, I might get it wrong. This is like looking for the join button. If it finds the join button, it'll click it and do some stuff. If instead it finds that the player is in a room, it will leave the room. Here's the commands for leaving a room. It will look for save and exit on screen, and it will press escape if it doesn't find that. So it's basically going to try to leave the room. It's going to press escape until it finds save and exit message, and then it's going to click save and exit message. Hard to explain, but it's redundant. Like, it'll keep doing it. It'll do it forever. and until the fucking end of time. Not really. Alright. How did I get here? So, this says we found the join room button. And this says basically to press it. This says that it made it to this part of the script. And now this part is looking for screen game name. You know, that's important to it. It wants to know the realm, sort of thing. Alright. Running these things, I don't know how well it would go. And, well, that's that. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day.